Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Two Men No Hope. This is episode 9, and I hope you've been listening from episode 1. But I'm Dan.
I'm Jamie.
And today we've got another episode with someone else that's emailed in, and it's getting pretty good at the minute. We're getting probably an email per episode now, so it's helping us out a lot, and obviously we know people are listening.
Yeah, helping us massively with our content.
Yeah, But this is what we wanted. But at the beginning it was sort of like, what should we do? And then, I'm much happier doing this, having a bit of a community going.
Yeah, exactly. Got a bit of direction.
Yeah, exactly. How was your Jubilee weekend last week?
Started it off, as you know, with the party that my T-shirt did arrive. I did get it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. When I turned up to the party though, before like the girls and that arrived, I was the only fucker wearing anything that was remotely Jubilee-esque.
Oh, for God's sake, I hate that. If someone says to you, it's like come dine with me, innit? When they're like, oh, come dressed as this, and someone just turns up in shorts, and you're like,
yeah, exactly. And but it wasn't too bad because everyone was wearing like the colours.
Mm-hmm.
But when I turned up and I was wearing basically a queen head on my top with like Union Jack sunglasses on the queen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, and it was way oversized compared to my shirt as well, which just made me feel like an absolute melon walking in here. And I turned up and there was fucking no one wearing anything like remotely close, and I was like, oh, I've got mugged off here. I could have just went in 100% black like I normally do.
You have to send Charlotte in photo. You should have had like a change of clothes in the car. You're like, Charlotte, go in and text me what everyone's
I should have just walked in, clocked everyone, walked back out, got back into the Uber and fucked off, and then come back again about 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it'd been much simpler.
But it was a messy one. Like Friday was essentially a write-off because of it. I haven't been that hungover in fucking years.
Jesus Christ.
It was bad. Man. I did some organising. I unearthed half of my hat collection, which I'm going to send you now. You wouldn't believe. I've actually got a problem. I'll put it up on the Instagram for people as well.
And I'll put it up on Twitter when I receive it.
So I've just sent you it now.
So it's like the full size of your bed?
Yeah, pretty much. That's 31 hats sitting there, and that's probably about half of what I've got.
Jesus Christ, man. Look, I feel that the Puma hat it feels a bit out of place.
Oh yeah, the Puma one was probably one of my first ones. There's a Rick and Morty one at the back.
Is there? Oh, is that Pickle Rick?
Pickle Rick.
Ah.
90% of them are NBA related, but the rest of them are
I still like
mixtures.
The grey one with the green stag.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my favourite one. It was annoying because I must have been looking at hats or something because of you. And a Blue Jays, I always buy a Blue Jays hat.
Yeah.
And there's this really nice one, but it's like your style, and I can't wear that. My head looks funny. So I like the baseball ones, or like a beanie, and the baseball ones are just blue, and this one's all funky.
You should have a look at Topper Store. Have a look on there. They have a few curved peak ones.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Yeah, because
that's where I get these from, and they do tend to have a mixture. Because some of them are curved peak, they're not all flat peak.
You can't bend them ones either, can you? Like they're specifically.
Not properly, no. They will look weird.
Yeah, I look weird in them anyway. Nah. Yeah, no, bugger to that.
And then on top of that, it's just been a week. Well, this week coming is just a week of bereavement. I lost my cousin on a Friday. He passed away, and then this week I got a funeral tomorrow and a funeral Thursday. So it's a pretty hectic week, emotional week.
Yeah, that's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, man. But other than that, it's been good.
Yeah, man. And the sun was out as well.
How about you? What did you go up to?
The Friday I spent. What was I doing the Friday? I think I was just doing stuff for the podcast, like YouTube and things like that.
All right.
Oh no, I went and saw Bob's Burgers movie.
Oh, what was that like?
Yeah, it was alright. It was just like an extended Bob's Burgers, but it does the whole thing like, I don't think Simpsons did it, but South Park did it. When you make a cartoon into a movie, they put music in it, like dance numbers and that. They were okay, you know what I mean? And it sort of fit with the style of the thing, but no, it was alright. It was worth a watch. And then me and my brother watched a load of terrible movies, so that was pretty funny. And then Saturday, me and Hannah went on a road trip.
Oh yeah.
I think I got burnt at the back of my neck, but we went up. It's like a 2-hour drive. We went up to the Highland Wildlife Park, and that's pretty sick, man. You got like half of it you drove around in your car, and you got like deer and horses and like bison and stuff. The bison were massive, and then they had like a red panda and polar bears. The polar bears were pretty fucking sweet, but it was so hot that all the animals just couldn't be bothered. So like half the time they're just like laying on their back. Like I sent you the picture of the wolves, and they're just
knockout.
Yeah, all in a little pack underneath like a shady thing, asleep, and everyone's like, "Oh look!" And the red panda was up in a tree, just hanging out. You could barely see it; you just see its little head, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, bastard."
Whose car did you go in?
My car.
Your car.
Yeah.
I always worry that they're like the monkeys that going to damage your car.
Well, see, it's not like there's that famous one down south, isn't there?
Yeah, the one by me.
I can't remember what it's called. My mum told me as well, like an hour ago. I can't remember what it's called.
Begins with W.
All I can think about is Wardown. Wardown Park.
It's definitely Wardown. That's rats and swans.
Yeah. So in the driving bit in this one, there's literally only like the deer in that. Whereas is that one, they've got you can go through like the actual where the wolves are eating and that, and it's all in your car.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this one's like half and half, so that was pretty good. And then we 20 minutes.
Woburn Safari.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. And then we went for like a walk. It was like 20-minute drive from there, and it was like a lock in the middle of all like the trees and everything. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that was what you sent me the picture of, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Nice. It's so good. And then as we were driving back, we went to Aberfeldy, and we went to a restaurant called the Three Lemons. And the
Three
food,
Lemons?
Yeah, the food there was absolutely banging. I had a pork and chorizo burger with apple and pear chutney, and the burger was made. Like, you think it would just be like a patty with some chorizo on top. But it was all mixed in. It was like really crumbly.
No way.
Yeah. It was well good, man. And then we went back and I passed out. You know what I mean?
Food coma.
Yeah, basically. I was so tired. Like, when we left the walk, I think my watch went off and it was like, "Oh, you've done 14,000 steps today." I'm like, "Fuck off." And then
I bet.
My eyes were just like closing. So I had to play a game with Hannah. We had like these like chewy, like the soft jelly fruit sweets.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll have any other colour but the white ones. I don't like the white ones. And she was like, "Oh, you're just saying that." And I'm like, "No, because I'll know the white one if you give it to me." So we spent like half an hour. She was just putting random sweets in my mouth and trying me to guess the colour. I got all of them right except the yellow and the orange one didn't taste yellow and orange.
Oh, really?
No. So they kept.
But you got the white one, did you?
Oh, mate, it was like I don't know what it is about the white one. It's like wine gum. Is it wine gum? It's like, it tastes like wine. Like it's really sort of like, I don't know, sharp.
I have because I love jelly beans, innit? I have the same situation with the white jelly bean.
I'm not a big jelly bean fan.
I am, but they're hard to get hold of because it's like an old person sweet now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can only get those. Is it bamboozled or something?
Yeah, they're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but that's the point, isn't it? They're like minging flavours. Actually, I think the last time I saw jelly beans was like an airport. and you can make like your tube yourself. And like fill them.
The place I know you can get them is Co-op.
Fuck
But
that.
I very rarely go inside a Co-op now, ever since we've finished working there.
Oh yeah, every time we drove past one, because obviously little villages up here have a Co-op, like all of them. Every time we pass one, I would curse it out. I'd be like, fucking place. Fucking doing my head in it was. But yeah, so that was my weekend. All fun and games. And I went to a barbecue. I feel like shit now. I've got the sweats going on. I think I've eaten too much.
Oh no.
Yeah, the meat sweats.
At least it's not the other sweats.
Oh mate, I don't even know. I tell you, I'm dying here. I don't think the beer's helping either. But yeah, so we've got someone emailed in.
Yeah.
Trying to decide whether we should block his name out. Let's call him George. So George has emailed in, and of course he started off with he loves the podcast. I always like to say that out loud. And he says, I have a slightly petty question for you guys. I've recently moved in with my parents after a terrible breakup, finding my ex of 7 years in bed with a random person. Bollocks. My parents are being supportive as they can, but they will not allow me to bring home dates even though I'm 27. I still feel like I'm being treated as if I'm 7. They're very conservative and do not agree with any sex happening under their roof. I'm saving my money up to get out, but the housing ladder is hard, as you anticipate, which we all know about.
Yeah.
What would you guys do in my situation? And then he's got also, my ex is trying to get back in contact with me every now and then. What would we do about it? How are you, Jamie, back in the day when you were living at home, bringing people back?
I used to just be bold as brat. Like, as I've mentioned it before on the podcast, that my mum would never let me close the door.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
So that was right up until I was like fucking 19 or something. And before me and Charlotte got together.
Fucking hell.
When the door was open, I just used to I used to just risk it, innit? It would be very rare that someone would come up the stairs. My mum's stairs were so creaky that I'd fucking hear it even if I was going to town. So I was like, fuck it. But some girls were a bit awkward about it, but
yeah, but I remember
that's what
when you start. Was it with Charlotte? You didn't give a fuck anyway. Like I remember you saying a few times that your parents would come in and tell you to shut up.
Yeah. We got caught by a fucking double glazing salesman, and my mum walked in on us in the middle of a fucking session.
Well, how? What? How's a double glazing catch you?
Because mum was getting a double glazing replaced.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted to change the window in my room.
Oh, what? So like they opened the door and there's you.
They opened the door. Yeah, and I was like, all you could see was my little white arse like fall on the floor behind the bed. Oh, it's fucking disgraceful. Anyway, what I would say for this guy to do, because obviously he's not allowed girls around at all. Rent a hotel, man.
Yeah, man, but that's a lot of money.
Travelodge is like £30 for a night.
Yeah, but is it guaranteed? Like, is he saying I just can't bring him back? Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's like I wouldn't get a.
So it could be like literally just bringing him back to chill.
Yeah, have like a drink or something like that. But then I suppose that always does lead to sex, doesn't it?
Most of the time.
Yeah. You can do what your brother does and ask if they've got their own place and then move in with them.
I'm not commenting on that. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, no, my parents weren't like that either. Like, I was allowed to close the door and everything. My mum and stepdad don't give her monkeys. I think she's walked in on me before as well. And there was once, because my family, I always say my family is just a bunch of perverts. That Mum gave me a load of condoms, and I was like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, we don't need them anymore." Tell me what happened. Something family
Jeff
related.
got the sniffles, eh?
No, I think it was something to do with Mum. At that point, but yeah, so they gave them to me, and I was like, alright, then just throw them in a drawer. And then it was like, I don't know how many months later, and Jeff comes in the middle of the night, and he's like, not in the middle, like 10 or 11, and I'm watching TV, and he's like, "Oh, Dan, have you got those condoms that your mum gave you?" And I'm like,
oh, fucking hell.
I'm like, they're in the drawer. Don't ever give me condoms ever again.
Oh, mate, that is fucking disgraceful.
But yeah, so I didn't have to deal with anything like that. I don't think I really even talked to anyone. But like, yeah, I suppose a hotel would probably be the best thing, or like, you know, your car maybe.
Yeah, if you've got a car. I did it a lot between like when I first started going out, like out on nights out before me and Charlotte were together. So that was only like a year or so. I did it a lot. I used to go down to the Travel Lodge at Dunstable all the time after a night out.
Oh really?
Yeah, because my mum would never let me. If I walked in with a girl at like 3 a.m, she'd be like, "Take her home."
Oh yeah, I guess. But then
Yeah.
I suppose as well, if they're not at home, that's what I would like. If even though my mum and that were, you know, I never wanted them to know I was getting it on. So if they weren't at home, I'd be like, "Oh, you know, come round," because you know when they're not going to be there.
That was a classic school thing, man. I think like we used to go, "Oh yeah, I've got a free yard," and then like get someone round
Yeah.
as quickly as you possibly could.
But then like it's a situation, right? Like he's not broken up with her, is he? It's been forced. So he's gonna want like a rebound. So I suppose that's the best time where you want sex, don't you? You're not interested in anything else. You just want to have some fun. But then you got to look at it on the parents' point of view, where they've taken you in. You're not supposed to be living there anymore because they've assumed that you were gone.
Yeah.
So it's now reintroducing having, you know, that in the house. And like, I wouldn't want knowing someone's banging in my house. Even if
No,
it was
it
my
is
kid.
awkward.
Yeah.
It is awkward, yeah. And it is, especially if you're like religious or conservative, it's awkward for your parents. And like, that's why I say get a hotel room, because if they are conservative and they are that way inclined, then just keep it out of their
Yes.
keep it out of their scope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think they're giving you a solid, like you said. They're being supportive in that, because you know he's had to come home, isn't he?
Some parents wouldn't have, like, I know a few guys that I work with and stuff like that, that when their relationship come to an end, the parents had either moved and downgraded houses so there wasn't room for them, or like they've just basically said to him, like, "You're a grown-ass man, you're not coming home," basically.
That's mental. I couldn't imagine that, because
Any self-respecting parent wouldn't do that.
No, because it's your child, isn't it? Like, it's not like they're doing it on purpose. It's just life happens, isn't it?
Especially in the situation this guy is, where he had some fucker cheat on him after 7 years.
Yeah, like when I broke up with my ex, I didn't want to move back home. There wasn't enough room anyway. Well, they could have been made room, but I had the cat and that. And she originally left, and I was like, and she agreed to pay that month's rent, and then she came back a week later and was like, blah blah blah, is it okay if I stayed here till I got on my feet? And she was a chronic fucking liar anyway. But yeah, so I did the worst thing, and I stayed living with. She didn't cheat with me. It was like a mutual breakup, but I stayed living with her for 2 months,
Which was fucking difficult.
It was awful, man. Yeah, because I didn't know when I'm at work, because she bringing fucking people home and stuff like that. And even though we agreed on, it's just where we're living, like no friends or nothing come over. It's just for me and you as a you know,
Human beings.
yeah, because we're both in the same situation, and it was awful, man. Especially when I'm paranoid as fuck. Anyway, with the way I am, ugh, yeah, no. So I wouldn't like that on anyone. So it's nice that your parents took you back. So yeah, you just gotta either tie a knot in your wiener, man, and just try and get out of that house, or like Jamie says, yeah, the best place probably is a hotel. If you know that's where it's going, and she knows that sort of thing, you know what I mean, then a hotel is the best thing.
And if it's just like having, like chilling out with someone or something like that, just see if your parents would be up for you to just, like, you're 27 years old, they can't really say no to you saying, oh, we're going to watch some TV in the living room. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just have an arrangement.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is, because obviously you're an adult, right?
Exactly.
So, and even though they are your parents, you should be able to have like an adult conversation with them.
Yeah.
So if it comes to it, just sit down and be like, explain your side, not in like a I want to bring women round and blah blah, but just see what you can do. Like you said, if you want them to come round and watch the TV or something, like watch a film together, have dinner. Is it right for them to go upstairs and watch TV or go out for a meal? You know what I mean?
If they're not comfortable with you two going up to the room.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of give. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not an easy thing getting out on your own. It's not like you've come back and you're like, oh fuck this, I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm going to go out and get pissed every night and spend all my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it takes time. You can't stop your life because your parents don't want you to sleep with anyone.
Because, like, any parent should know, or any human should know, if you're going to try and stop someone doing something, you're more likely to push them that way to do it, because you're planting it in their mind that they can't do it. Yeah. So out of human, like,
rebellion
nature, they're going to rebel against you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, I remember like throwing parties when I was younger, and I remember this guy come up to me, and he was like, "Oh, is it alright if we go and use your room so I could sleep with this girl?" And I'm like, "No,
that's fucking weird."
Yeah, he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "If you do that in my room, I will take your nuts off you." And I was like, "Then you won't be fucking doing it ever again, mate." He's like, "Oh." So that was it then. I then had to follow him around the whole fucking night to make sure he wasn't going to go sleep with that woman in my bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The worst thing is that she was flirting with me before him, and then he fucking jumped in because they went to the same college.
Yeah, that was
and
awkward,
I'm like, no way am I letting you sleep with some woman that I thought I was going to be sleeping with in my own bed. Like, what the fuck?
That's some like weird fucking what was it? Family Strokes fucking porn thing going on.
Oh mate, yeah, no, I ain't a very good sharer anyway, so I don't even fucking. That party was a fucking disaster anyway. But yeah, I was just like, fuck. But yeah, that's not even well, it is technically my house, but like, I can understand where they're coming from. Yeah, you know what I mean, my kids would never sleep and eat with anyone. I'd be like your parents, like, have the door open.
I don't know what I just was quieter. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why
you weren't quiet. I've heard many stories.
By the time I got old enough, I didn't give a fuck anymore. But when I was like a nervous 16-year-old trying it for the first time with a girl and all this shit, I was like a little tiny little squirrel, just trying to squirrel away and get my end away. Do you know what I mean?
Oh mate, my fucking first girl, I don't even think I slept with her. It was all like hand stuff. It was the shittest fucking.
Oh mate, have I ever told you about when I lost mine?
Maybe a long time ago.
I was like just turned 14, yeah. And it was in Stockwood Park by one of my friend's older sisters, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just laying on the floor like a fucking salmon on the floor, and she was just like taking full control, and I was like, "Is that good? Was that good?" And she was like, "Yeah, it was okay." And then we just carried on the night as though nothing had happened. And I was like, what the fuck?
Mate, that's better than my fucking first time. Again. in her bedroom, and it was like in and out because she's
That's
fucking
it
off
done.
her head. Yeah. No, well, no, I didn't even get it done. Does that count then?
I don't know. I don't know because if it doesn't, it doesn't count for me either. Because I definitely didn't do nothing.
No, no, it was like fucking. Oh, mate, she was off her nut. Really,
What I
think I'd
remember
just
as
deal with
well
it.
is it was right next to that fucking massive log. Do you remember that massive log that was in Stockwell Park? Right by the play area, there was like this huge like log that all the kids used to climb all over.
I'm trying to remember which one Stockwood Park is.
It's the one that is like by town, by
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know where you
the
are.
huge park. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were like drinking in there overnight, did an all-nighter, and then
Fucking
like
hell.
we separated, paired off, and did that, and then like I lasted a whole 2 seconds, didn't know what was going on, and then Pop was your uncle, carried on with the night, and
Mate, my fucking. Now I think back to it, I think to myself, like, what was I? Because I was with my first for like a year and a half or something,
mm.
and she always used to blue ball me, man, like, because she was off her nut. So it'd be like, we'd be like making out and that, and she'd be like handying me, and then all of a sudden she would switch and she'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And fucking being
Mate,
all fucking mental, and then she'd be back on again, and then she'd be off again, and then she'd be back on again. So amount of time, because when I was walking home, you'd walk through like a field.
yeah,
Amount of times that I stopped in that field because I physically couldn't walk because my nuts hurt so much, and I had to bash it out behind some trees,
oh that is fucking
and then fucking come
disgraceful.
home. Mate, I mean, what am I supposed to do? They're knocking in my legs, and it's so painful. Anyone that's had blue balls would know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Mate,
And it's just like, I don't know what I was doing. A year and a half I was doing that.
can you imagine if like some fucking woman was just like casually walking her dog, yeah, and
Well, no, it'd be late.
clocked you,
Yeah, I mean, it's
clocked you doing it, and then it would be like, what the fuck?
trying to shake her hand.
And you're not even like like doing it at her, innit? But she just thinks you are because you're fucking standing in the middle of a field masturbating.
Mate, my nuts hurt so much, it wasn't even masturbating, it was like blowing on the tip of it. And I was like, oh, and I'm done.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Fucking, that's the cruelest thing anyone could ever do is blue ball someone.
Well, that's why men are like dogs, man. Men are dogs.
Yeah, we are, yeah. Just got to get it done, innit?
And with the question as well about his ex trying to get back involved with him, just tell her to fuck off.
Yeah. Don't
Like,
do it,
no,
man.
there's no two ways about it. They say people change and
No,
all
they
this
don't.
shit. Talk like, I am a strong believer in if they're gonna do it once to you, they don't have the respect for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, not at all. It's all about control, right? So, like, she doesn't want to feel like she's in the wrong.
No, exactly.
So she's like, come back, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then if you go back, she's then like, oh, he's pathetic. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it again and he'll just take me back anyway. And it'll just, that's it. So don't even fucking, like I said in the email, man, if you feel like you need to go back, just give us an email and we'll call you a cunt and make you stop doing it.
Yeah, definitely. One of my good friends got cheated on by this girl, by another friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that was already awkward enough because I was like a little person in the middle. And I was talking to her about why she did it. And she was like, oh, he listens to me. So-and-so didn't listen to me ever. That's just like the biggest crock of shit. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a way for her to blame him for her deciding to cheat on him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely
So-
mental, man.
Just don't do it. You heard my pain in the last episode of being on a holiday with someone that cheated on me. Do not fucking do it.
Love that story. But yeah, no. I wouldn't. No, it's not worth it.
No.
That's all it is. It's just her trying to. If you take her back, she feels like she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and she'll find in a few months' time she'll find someone else, and she'll be fucking sucking on his dick as well. So
Yeah. Nah, fuck
don't
that,
do it,
man.
innit?
You're 27, man. Like, there's no point getting back into a relationship like that.
No.
You need someone that you're going to build a life with. It's all right when you're 18 going back and forth with someone that's a fucking arsehole.
Yeah,
But-
you got all the time ahead of you.
Yeah, yeah. Not saying that. Yeah, I mean, I still haven't found a person. You know what I mean? There's still time, but you don't want to waste years with someone like that. You've already given them 7. You know what I mean?
So 20. Did he say he's 27? He's been cheated on for 7 years.
Not for 7 years.
Oh, he had a relationship for 7 years.
Yeah.
So he was with them from 20.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life, man.
Yeah.
Book a travel lodge. Get in Tinder. Enjoy your life.
You call yourself the travel lodger.
Yeah. I got to a point where I actually knew the members of staff of the travel lodge in Dunstables.
They probably thought you were a fucking male prostitute or something. How long is it this time, sir?
I was like, because I booked for 15 minutes.
Oh, so it's your pleasure and not hers then, Jamie.
Well, I'm definitely a giver. Anyway.
But yeah, I think we both agree that, yeah. I think if you want a long-term solution, it'd be talking to him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, hotel, I totally agree. The car's not a bad option either. I mean,
yeah.
It's awkward.
It's
but
awkward,
it can be done.
especially if you can't find a decent place. And there is some girls that just won't point blank do it in public like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember after I broke up with my ex, I went for a drive with a woman. It was, so annoying to find a place to stop.
Mm.
And then once you have stopped, it's sort of like, ugh, I can't be bothered now after trying to find fucking...
Muster up the courage.
Yeah. Just like, oh, for God's sake. We both knew it was going to happen as well, but it's just sort of like 45 minutes of driving and then stopping and going, no, this isn't good.
Yeah.
Drive a bit more. It's like, oh, fuck. You think living in Scotland as well, there'd be loads of places for you to hide.
Especially around where you live, fucking middle of nowhere.
Yeah. That's the problem, right? Everyone wants to go for a fucking drive.
Yeah, true.
So it's fucking...
You'd be sitting there getting it on and like this lay-by and then the fucking tractor starts towing you away.
Yeah. The worst thing as well is that like all cars now just have lights everywhere. So you got to sort of like make sure you turn all like the door lights off and then you get into the back seat and then you sit there awkwardly waiting for all the cars, because once you open the doors and everything, you wait for the power to turn off for the car to go dark. It's just fucking...
My Astra used to have mood lighting in it, innit?
Yeah, Mum's Mini's got fucking lights everywhere. You can't even turn the fuckers off. Yeah, I mean, it's like being in a porn studio in there, like red light going off everywhere.
Yeah. Your
man,
stepdad would be looking for the condoms then, mate.
Oh, mate, don't even fucking worry. They come back from a holiday last year and she put the bag down. I just saw fucking lube sitting on the top.
Oh, mother of God.
Oh, it's like, she didn't see that. I know Mum's talked to me about it before, but I'm like, I don't want to see the lube.
No.
I mean,
there's certain things that should be kept away from you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, when me and Hannah were in the forest yesterday, I was struggling. But like,
oh, really?
Yeah. There was nothing I could do because like it's one of them forests that, like the trees are like really straight and long up. So like there's no branches or anything on them until you get to like near to the top, so you could just see straight through all the trees.
Yeah.
And like we found this like little bird watching hut thing. So we're kissing for a little bit in there, and I'm just like raging. And I'm like, oh yeah, fucking bastard. I was like, we need to keep walking because I can't handle this. So I kept walking.
Then you ate some food and died.
Oh no, I got the job done.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, a couple times, and then I blacked out, like fully blacked out after the second time, and then I woke up like 2 hours later, and she's like brushing her teeth and turning the TV and locking all the place up, and I'm just like, oh. What's going on? She's like, we're going to bed, and I'm like, okay. And then I went to sleep. Never walked so much in my fucking life, man. It's terrible. Oh man, we were talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp last week. Did you see the conclusion?
Yeah, he won, but she got like £2 million paid back to her or something.
What horseshit? That's the biggest.
What was the $2 million for?
Because he slated her in one of the courtroom speeches or something.
Oh, when he called her a cum guzzler or something?
Yeah, something like that. Probably like, I didn't, because I just got annoyed after it. That's the biggest sort of we don't want to ruin her career any more than she already has, and we know she can't afford 50 million to give back to him, so we'll just cut it in the middle, give a majority to him, so he's won.
Yeah.
But then award her. And the fact is, the matter is as well, the 2 million that she's got to pay him, I saw today, Elon Musk is going to help her out with.
Yeah, he loves a bit of Amber Heard, man.
He has no self-respect. Like, he's the biggest walkover I've ever seen. Like, all this has come out, and even if she did have, I don't know, random photos of bruises that he gave her that she's somehow blackmailing with, it doesn't matter because she's proved herself a liar. That's his out.
If I was Elon Musk, yeah, I'd be like, who this? Do you know what I mean? Because end of the day, Amber Heard is like a black ball in the Hollywood now.
Yeah.
Do not just don't even bother going near it. Don't even do whatever you can to stay away from that story. Do not get involved.
Yeah. What's the fucking point? But I couldn't believe it. It's good that he won because he deserved it.
He deserved it, yeah.
How fucking ridiculous.
She's showing herself to be what a piece of shit she is, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that just annoyed me, and I knew as well. And even if he had got the full 50, Elon Musk would have come out without the works and been like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll fucking pay."
That's the thing with Elon Musk. Is that rich that it doesn't matter to him, is it? It's like me paying 20 quid to you.
What? Because you're that rich?
I'm rich enough to give you 20 quid.
Oh, fucking money bags. Yeah, no, I just think, but it just shows his character, doesn't it? Like, he's a bit, even when you see him on camera, you think to yourself, you're a pushover, mate. Like, how you've made a company. Because I couldn't imagine him firing anyone or.
Because business-wise, I think he's probably a good businessman. Well, he has to be to have got him where he is.
Yeah.
I think as soon as his little tiny penis gets involved, his head goes out the window, innit? She probably offered him another blowjob or something, and he was like, okay, let me just start up the car.
Yeah, because his missus can't be alright with him doing it. Because it's not like he can deny it. It's in the fucking, it's all over the internet. Yeah, Ian.
Who is he still going out with the one that called the kid AMC 12, whatever it's called?
I don't know. I don't really follow him, to be honest. I didn't realise that she had a kid, Amber Heard.
No, I didn't know that either until the trial.
Yeah, and it's not Johnny Depp. She did like a sperm donor and had someone else carry it. Because she was told that she wouldn't be able to carry a baby or something, so she had a surrogate.
Yeah, like Kim Kardashian did.
Yeah. But I just think, fucking hell, it's just a ploy, innit?
It is. So it's a bag of shit.
Because she said, she was like, she basically made out that there doesn't have to be a dad, because women are strong. It's way stronger than men. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm not even denying that. But she's using that as like like leverage. Oh, women don't need to have a dad. Blah blah. We're the mum. Blah blah. This and that. And it's like, yeah, but you're affecting the people actually doing it because of that. Like, that don't need the father. They're actually strong women, not mentally retarded women like you.
She is one of those people. You come across them all in all walks of life. That she's always got some kind of point to prove. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what the whole filming him was all about. And she just proved that she was malicious, and like the reason they were together was a lie, and she fell out with love with him and decided to try and rinse him for any money that she could, basically.
It's fucking ugh, Jamie.
Because I have no doubt when they first got together, she had the right intentions. Do you know what I mean? Because it's Johnny Depp. Of course you're going to fall for Johnny Depp, innit? I'd fall for Johnny Depp.
I think he's quite weird. Like, since he's been in the court thing, I think he's quite weird. Like, the way he speaks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he sort of stops and he's like, every word he says, it's like he takes a second to think about.
Yeah, it's like super
cautious.
overthinking.
Yeah. And it's like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, is that the drugs that done that?
Probably.
But then
There's a guy that I work with. I'm not going to name his name, but I don't work with him directly, but he works in my place.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows that he did a few too many space biscuits
Space biscuit.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "Oh, how you doing, mate?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm alright." Like, there's always a long pause, and everything you say to him, and he'd be like, "Oh," he was showing me something once, and I was like, "Oh, how'd you get that done?" And he was like, I don't know. Let me just think. The geezer's been working there like 40 years, yeah?
Yeah.
And he still don't know what fucking aeroplane he's working on.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know what I mean? Too many drugs back in the day. Fucks, it frazzles your brain. And I think that's what is happening to Johnny. I think by the time he's like 60, 70, he'll be fucked.
Well, he's given it up. I think he's given it up now, isn't he, because of all this?
Well, he has to. If not, he would kill himself, I think.
Well, there's that. Saying about people that are a bit dozy, this guy at work, I was talking to Scott in the car, and I was like, oh, he came up, I was like, the guy come up to me and he goes, have you seen that Sleep Doctor film on Netflix? And I was like, Sleep Doctor? I was like, what's Sleep Doctor? And he's like, the the movie, The Second Shining. I'm like,
yeah.
Doctor Sleep? And he's like, and he looked at me, and he's like, yeah. And then Scott was like, did he actually say that? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I corrected him 2 days ago. He asked the same thing to me. Have I seen The Sleep Doctor? And I told him what the film was called. And then on the Thursday, on the last day, they were doing a thing on the radio where they were going through the generations of music for the Queen. And he come over to me because I told him that I was watching that Sex Pistols TV show.
Yeah.
And he leant down and he goes, oh, they haven't played the Sex Pistols yet. And I was like, why would they play the Sex Pistols? He's like, oh, because the song God Save the Queen. I'm like, that song was against the Queen.
Yeah.
And there's that blank look again. He's like, is it? And I'm like, yeah, that they were anarchists. You know what I mean? They didn't like the Queen or anything.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole fuck the establishment type thing.
Yeah. So then I felt a bit bad, and I was like, if they play it, man, I'd be fucking happy, but I wouldn't put any money on it. And he went, oh, okay. What's off? I was like, fuck it.
Sometimes you just come across fucking trips as well.
Yeah. I can't handle it. I'm just like, you say it really sarcastic, and then you got to sort of be like, oh, I said too much now. I've got to be nice.
I have a good friend, and he's such a good guy in it. Yeah, I love him to death, but he's thick as shit. Like, he is thick. Yeah. And I sat through the whole of, do you know the film Us with Jordan Peele film?
Yeah.
It's basically they're all clones in it, and they're underground and all this shit. Yeah.
By the way, there were spoilers just then.
Yeah. If you ain't watched it now,
you haven't got it now.
Yeah. It was years ago that come out. I watched the whole 2-hour movie with this geezer sitting next to me. I looked to him as like the pivotal moment had happened, and I'd already clocked what was going on, and his mouth was wide open watching this film. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell, it's hit him hard. I was thinking, we'll talk about that after we get out. And we were outside, we went out for a smoke after it finished. And I was like, oh, what do you think about that? And he was like, yeah, I don't really get why there was 2 of them sometimes, but sometimes there wasn't. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, you fucking idiot? I said the whole premise of the film is they're clones, you dickhead. And he's just looking at me so blank. I said, are you sitting there for 2 hours wondering why there's 2 of them sometimes and sometimes there's not? And he was like, why was the boy woofing like a dog as well? I was like, you're a fuck, that's it, get in the car.
I can't explain films to anybody. My mum does that all the time when I go around there. We were watching Oh, they put that film on Netflix. Is it Bereaved?
Dunno.
Departed.
Oh, Depart. Oh yeah, brilliant film. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we're about an hour in. Mum's been sitting there the whole time, and then she turns to me and she goes, "Is that Leonardo DiCaprio?"
He's like the fucking main character of the film.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
And she tells me she doesn't have ADHD. Where do I get it from, Ma? Where do I get it from? Yeah, that film was alright, but I felt that Leonardo DiCaprio was terrible in it. The whole way through, he was just doing this
very
whole,
early film from, wasn't it?
this whole like eye glazy thing he kept doing. Like he was always on the verge of bursting into tears.
Yeah, yeah.
That did my head in.
I thought that was good. I thought that was a really good film. I thought.
It was a good film. Don't get me wrong.
I think. I think I'll disagree with you about DiCaprio though. I think he was, if anything, he was overacting. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to put too much emotion into what he was doing, rather than. Which I suppose was what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. His eye, he was like constantly like on the verge of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He could have been
that's-
on
I'd
drugs
say
at
the
the time
same,
as
yeah.
well because he was quite skinny, wasn't he?
Well, didn't he get glassed in the face or something back in the day? Did he get glassed in
Yeah,
the
I think
face?
so.
Yeah, yeah. So he's a bit off his fucking head. Yeah, because he disappeared for a while. Because didn't he have like a scar on his face or something?
I don't know.
I just remember him disappearing and then coming back in like full force.
Yeah, my mum did a similar thing. We watched. Have you ever seen the film Antebellum?
No.
Well,
What's it about?
In Antebellum, it's about this woman wakes up, and she's a black woman, and she's in slavery times in the South in America.
Mm-hmm.
And then halfway through the film, you clock that it's all like a facade, and it's actually 2021. And all these people are just like, do you know them role player type people?
Yeah.
But they've taken it way too far. Like they're rich people that have taken it way too far, and they're actually treating them like the slaves when she's actually like a professor in a university.
All right.
So it's quite good. And then obviously that's like a huge turning point in the film. And we were watching it on Christmas Day with my mum, and my mum was just like, "So how was there a mobile in slave times?" And I was like, "Mum, we're watching a film together, like for the first time, and I've clocked that it's obviously all a facade, and it's fucking."
Yeah.
And I said, "You what you were asking why there's a phone comment because the geezer starts getting a phone call right at the end." And I'm just like, that's the trigger point in the movie where you realise what's going on.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Mum, how can you not figure that out?" And she was like, "Oh, I did think it was strange. Good movie though, isn't it?" I was like, "Fucking hell, Mum."
Yeah, I don't. I try not to watch new films anymore with my parents. Me and when I was in the woods, I was talking to Hannah, and I don't like spiders and things like that.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, there was a lot of dragonflies banging when I was in the forest.
No, I'll be staying away from that.
Yeah, you know, like when they're stuck to each other,
Mm.
and I felt bad, like they were like flying at me, and I'm like, I don't want to knock into them, like someone like when you're banging someone and someone flicks you in the back of the head or something. But yeah, I always remember reading this thing where it was like people that are scared of something know the most about that thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I said to Hannah, I was like, that's bollocks, right? Because I don't like spiders. I don't know nothing
But you know,
about
just fuck all
spiders.
about it.
No,
Yeah,
nothing
that's
about
exactly the
spiders.
same with me. That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's absolute horseshit. I can understand the thought about it because you're like, oh, I don't like that. I should know how to avoid
Everything
it.
about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the only person I know it's true in is Kieran, my brother,
Mm-hmm.
because Kieran knows everything there fucking is to know about sharks, and because he's obsessed with sharks. He hates sharks. He's scared of sharks. He knows everything about them. Like he was, I don't remember if I said it on the podcast where he did a whole monologue of the Meg to Aaron.
I don't think you did, no.
when we were all drunk around my house once, Kieran stood up and we watched the Meg in 20 minutes, basically, where Kieran was fast forwarding and stopping and explaining the scenes to my other brother Aaron, and then he was like, "And this is when this happens, and this is when the kid dies, and this is when," and it's all derived from his fear of sharks, and it's so like unneeded because he's never fucking seen a shark in real life other than in an aquarium.
Yeah, but everyone should be afraid of sharks. You know what I mean? That's the natural.
I wouldn't be that bothered, mate. If like I know I'm not a strong swimmer, if I'm in the sea and the sharks come to get me, fucking
Game
take
over.
me, mate. Yeah, take me. Good on you, mate. You found me. You fucking found me. Take me.
I'd pretty much drown before the shark would get to me anyway. I just sink. I'm like a fucking stone.
I'll just go like this, innit? Just like, just let it fucking happen.
You get on that board like DiCaprio should have done in fucking Titanic.
Yeah.
That was horseshit that he didn't get on that fucking board. There was enough room for both of them.
That's other than Lost. Yeah, that is probably the worst cinematic problem ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's like his best film in the world.
People that are afraid of snakes as well piss me off, innit? Because like, there's nothing like the snake is not slimy. It's just a little bit wriggly.
People always
innit?
say that. Oh, a snake is all slimy and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's not at all.
If anything, it's
cold.
the opposite. It's really dry.
And it's really cold. I found. Yeah, because my nan used to be like that. She didn't like snakes.
It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, she didn't like them at all. But yeah, no, I'm a big. But I hate spiders. Like, the only good thing about having my cat is that he kills spiders.
I've trained Rocco to get any insect in the house.
Yeah. But like, one of my favourite films to watch is Arachnophobia. that doesn't make any fucking sense, but that film is so good, and I always say that to people. That film is so good, and it scares the fuck out of me every time I watch it.
What about Eight-Legged Freaks? I used to love that film when I was younger.
Oh man, that was so crap though.
It was so crap, but when you're like a teenager wanting the easy scares and you're scared of fucking spiders.
But that's
That
the
used
one
to
where
shit
they
me
were
up.
like, they get really big, innit?
Yeah.
Like
They're
ridiculous.
like chasing them on dirt bikes.
Saying out movies like that. I saw a trailer for Titanic 666.
Oh, fucking hell.
You can know where I'm going with that, yeah.
I can imagine it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, they make a new Titanic and they sail it on the same route that the original Titanic took. And they put artifacts. Is it artifacts? Like parts from the old Titanic in like a museum on it.
Yeah.
And a woman gets on and she's like, "Oh, you're disgracing the ancestors and their memory and all this sort of stuff." So she gets in the basement and she does a little ritual to bring all the ghosts back. And
Do you actually watch this film?
No, this is all in the trailer.
Oh,
you don't
in
need
the
to
trailer.
watch. Yeah. You see her do the little ritual, and then all the ghosts come back, and then obviously all the ghosts has to fuck them all up, and I'm assuming they make it crash into the iceberg again. So essentially, what they've made is a redundant movie because it's just going to crash again. It's like what you might as well just go watch the good Titanic.
Yeah, the one that actually had a budget.
Because who's to say that didn't happen on the Titanic?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's going to crash into an iceberg and everyone's going to die anyway. You might have just called it the alternate version of the Titanic.
Mate, there's so many bad movies out there. Like all them there's like 7 Sharknadoes, man.
Yeah, but that what's the woman that's made? She's got a little bit of fame back from that.
Tara Reid.
Yeah, she looks like a massive like stripper crack addict, doesn't she?
Yeah. In the end, Dan, because I've watched all 7. This is how shit.
I haven't seen any of them.
They're terrible. They're like, do not watch them. Yeah. Charlotte is obsessed with them, and so is her dad. So I ended up watching them all, and they go into space. Yeah, at one point. And
wait, the people or the Sharknadoes?
Both.
That doesn't make sense though, because there's no atmosphere in space.
Dan, it's only going to get worse. Yeah. Tara Reid, yeah, is in space with the shark. Yeah, fighting the shark. Tara Reid is only ahead now, the rest of her body is mechanical, and she's got a chainsaw as a hand. Yeah.
If anything, you're actually selling this to me.
Just imagine the worst CGI in the world as well. It's like fucking 1985 CGI, yeah. And then they plummet down in through the atmosphere into Earth, and they land like next to all the people that are at the airport where the fight was going on in the initial fight, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, Tara Reid's dead, isn't it? No. She chainsaws out from inside of the fucking shark. She was inside it, chainsaws her way out, and then continues to fight as though nothing's happened, as though she hasn't been in space with no fucking breathing apparatus, as though she hasn't been fighting like a fucking great white in the atmosphere of the fucking Earth. And that, Dan, is not the worst thing that happens in that movie. It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, but you got there's like bad movies, and there's like, have you ever seen
They're deliberately bad, them movies.
like the Revenge of the Rotten Tomatoes? Is that what it's called? Revenge of the Rotten Tomatoes?
No.
There's like this old film about killer tomatoes, and George Clooney's in it.
Oh god.
And actually, it was back before the fucking internet was at its peak. And I don't know if it actually happened, but during like the middle of the film, George Clooney turns to the camera and he's like, "Now this is the point in the film where we've actually lost our budget, so the rest of the film is now has sponsors. So the rest of the film, like, they're all going like Coca-Cola and turning the cans, so you can see the Coca-Cola." Doing stuff like that for the movie, but it works so well that it's just amazing. Like, I'd absolutely watch that any day of the week.
Charlotte said to me,
Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes.
Charlotte said to me that Sharknado is essentially a documentary, yeah, because because when there's a hurricane or a tornado and it goes through the sea, what happens to all the animals? I said they fucking swim off, Charlotte. Because they're in the fucking sea, so they'd swim off, wouldn't they? Yeah, but no, Charlotte's like, no, they get pulled up into the atmosphere, and the whole thing of Sharknado is the sharks are in the tornado, like spinning around, and somehow they figure out that how to fly, and they fly into people and eat them in it. That is like the premise of the fucking films.
But then once they've hit the person and eaten them, they then die.
They're just lying on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what happens in the film?
Yeah. And then they get picked up again by the tornado as it comes through, innit? And then, like, I thought, after the first one, I was like, you ain't going to get any worse than that.
So essentially what you've got is a sentient tornado.
Yeah.
That knows that it needs weapons, so it picks up sharks, and then once it's dropped it, it's picking the ammo back up.
Essentially. And the sharks somehow figure out how to glide through the air with accuracy.
What, like using their, like, fins and that?
Yeah, so they'll go like, and then just fucking take someone out.
See, that to me isn't completely, because obviously missiles and things are shaped like sharks, aren't they? Because it's aerodynamic. So that to me isn't completely 100 off. The sentient tornado, yeah, because there's a different thing in the sea, isn't it? What's the one that's underwater?
Tsunami.
Isn't that a tidal wave?
Yeah.
I'm sure you get like twisters underwater.
Yeah, you do. It's a similar thing, yeah.
But then like you said, they'd swim away.
Just swim away, yeah.
Yeah.
That, like, and then, like, the geezer is, like, a ginger guy. He's the main guy in it. Like, at first, he's not with Tara Reid. He's, like, split up with her, and that's all the whole fucking shebang, yeah. And his whole thing is that he saves, like, New York or something with a chainsaw, and that's it. And he, like, chops all the fucking things up and somehow stops the hurricane. Or the Sharknado. And then, in the second film, he's on a plane going to, like, San Francisco or something. And then they're like, oh, there's a Sharknado in the Green Bay area or something like that.
Oh, and he's like, turn this plane around.
He's like, I'm on my way.
All you're doing is selling this to these our listeners. They're like, man, I've got. If I have it,
I've sat there for hours watching that shit.
I'm feeling that I'm gonna have to watch all these and come back on the next episode with like a that was absolute garbage.
And then what doesn't make anything better is the CGI is so bad that it's just hard to watch.
Yeah, but once they hit the popularity after the first or second one, that's then their way of filming it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So their budget probably got bigger, but they didn't want to change the CGI.
Yeah, because they got a few more stars involved as the films went on.
You can't beat old Samuel Jackson on Snakes on a Plane.
Oh, mate. It was unbelievable.
They do that a lot, though. They go to the whole space thing, like...
Fast and Furious did it.
Oh, mate, we're not even going to go there. Jason did it. Jason X. That was in space.
Was it?
Yeah, he was like... I can't even remember. Frozen somewhere and a ship passes and finds it as a cargo and brings him on and defrosts him. And then he goes around killing everyone on the spaceship. But he's got like a new fancy space machete. That's like special metal. Yeah. And then Leprechauns did it. Leprechaun in space. Evil Clown in space. Critters in space. Puppets in space.
So they just followed the trend.
Every horror film or like stuff like that, like cheesy film, always end in space.
When the space scene happened, I just didn't even know what the fuck was going on, and it's just like unbelievable.
But then you could say this. But then I think Fast and Furious is now at the point where they know they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like self-aware, right? They filmed it as if, like, because they had, what's the guy that's always eating? What's his name? He's always hungry, isn't it? Yeah. It's him that's portraying that line, isn't it? He's like,
yeah.
Have you noticed how when we get in crashes, we never have a scratch on us, or when we get shot at, we never get hit? And then he stands in that circle of like 20 people, and they all fire at him, and he doesn't get hit once. And then they're getting in the car, don't they, to go to the space, and he's like, "It'll be fine, man. We're gonna do this because we're saved or something, or we're immortal." And they go up into space.
That's why I couldn't watch Hobbs and Shaw in it. Hobbs and Shaw, the Rock's one-liners were killing me off. Every time he said a one-liner, I was like, I need to turn this film off.
Hobbs and Shaw was great.
I went 35 minutes in, and I turned the fucker off. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, because you had that Idris Elba is just fucking class, as he always is. So all of his scenes are really serious. Yeah, and then all of theirs are bollocks. And Ryan Reynolds is getting on my tits.
Oh, really?
He plays the same fucking character in everything. He just plays Deadpool now. Ever since he did Deadpool, he is Deadpool in everything.
I did think that when I watched Free Guy.
Yeah. All of it. It's just this like cocky sort of you'll love me even though I'm a complete and utter arsehole. He did it in what was the Netflix film he had where they were like dead, but they just because they were doing stuff on the sly. Oh, I can't remember what that was called.
Oh, when it was him and the kid?
They were all like driving cars and that.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was
Underground
him.
6 or something.
Yeah, that was him. That was Deadpool in that. When he did Free Guy, he was Deadpool. When he did that thing with the kid, he was playing Deadpool.
To be fair, that film with the kid was quite good.
Yeah, it was alright. But he was doing the same sort of like sassy...
Yeah, he found his niche, didn't he?
Yeah. Which isn't his fault, because every actor... Liam Neeson does it after Taken. All his films are now... Yeah.
I'm watching... I know... Like, even Charlotte makes comments. Charlotte doesn't really pay that much attention to films, innit? When I go, with the new Liam Neeson films out, she's like, what was it, Taken 10? I was like, well, put it this way. It's Taken, but it's on a plane.
Yeah. Actually, I like that. That what was that called? He was like an air marshal.
Yeah, that was a good film.
Yeah, it was
And
alright.
there's another one where he's like some mafioso guy working for the Irish mob, and then something goes wrong, and he has to save his son or something for the Irish. Pardon me. And the Irish mob is after him, and it's basically the same thing. It's basically Taken, but with a son, and he's a criminal instead of a fucking CIA agent.
Have I seen that? It sounds familiar. What's the one where? Oh, he's a serial killer. No, is he a serial killer? And he goes on a
Where
date
he's like an
with-
FBI agent. Well,
No.
he's off the books
No.
agent.
He's a bank robber. He robs a bank,
Oh yeah.
and he meets a woman. I'm not going any further than that. I'm not even going to give you the name of the movie.
Let me.
Yeah, he's a bank robber. He
I'm
meets a
gonna pull up
woman.
his IMDb.
He falls in love with a woman, and then he tries to give himself up. But the FBI agents want the money, so they try and kill him and take the money. But then he gets away, puts her in danger, takens it up, and then they live happy ever after. No, he doesn't. No, I can't remember. Shite
Here we
anyway.
go. Liam Neeson. Blacklight is the film I was talking about.
Blacklight. No, I haven't seen that one.
Have you seen The Ice Road, where he's a trucker, and then he decides to go on a mad one, Taken style?
No.
Basically, they decide to double cross him as always, and then he goes on a mad one, throws them through the ice because they're doing some like long haul fucking trucking ice trucker bullshit. He gets double crossed, then he decides he's going to fight everyone, saves the day, saves the woman. End of film. And then you got The Marksman, where he's the old man on the Mexican border, saves the child and the woman.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Takens up the whole.
So it's Mexican Taken.
It's Mexican Taken, yeah. Then you got Honest Thief. That's the one I was talking about. No, the one you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, where he steals that money.
Yeah. What else have we got here? Cold Pursuit. That's when he was a killer.
Okay.
It's basically Taken in the snow.
What's the one with the wolves?
That was quite a good film. That was different to the rest of them.
No.
The Grey.
No, it wasn't. That annoyed me because in the trailer, I'm going to give you some spoilers. This whole episode is spoilers, by the way. That in the trailer it shows him putting the little glass bottles on his hand because he's about to fist fight a wolf. And you wait the whole film for him to fist fight a wolf, and he does the trailer bit at the end, and then the credits roll. You don't even see him punch a wolf.
Basically, it's Taken with wolves.
It's not even that. It's just them running away. It's the most. Oh man, it's awful. I think I went to the cinema to see that trash as well.
He's got a new one coming out called Memory.
Is it like Born, where he's forgotten who he is, but he can subconsciously be taken?
An assassin for hire. Finds his way.
Sorry, that okay.
An assassin for hire finds his way to become a target after he refuses to complete a job for a dangerous criminal organisation. A remake of the 2003 The Memory of a Killer.
Fucking hell.
Basically, it's Taken, but he's a fucking assassin
Old
for
man.
hire.
He's an old man, is what he is.
There's so many films that I forgot he was in.
What we want is a Nobody 2.
Oh, mate.
That film.
If they don't, it'll be a fucking travesty if they don't do a Nobody 2.
That was fucking out this world, and it had the fucking Doc in it as well, which was just amazing. Doc from Back to the Future.
Yeah, I did not know he was still alive, and like generally did not know he was still alive.
Oh, yeah,
I thought he died years ago.
He's going. He was in Edinburgh for a Comic-Con, I think I was at. I'm too tight to pay for anything, so I always just look over the crowd and take a picture and was like, look, I saw him. That's how I do things.
Fuck your
Stealing
£5
money.
picture, innit? I'm fucking
£5?
taking a picture from a distance.
You wish it was £5, Jamie. Do you know a cheap autograph photo with someone? They're not even taking the photo. It's like a pre-made sheet that they sign in front of you. It's like £40-50.
What?
Yeah. It
Of
ain't
like who?
fucking- Of anyone. It's disgraceful.
What? Even like low end fucking.
And you got to
Mate.
stand in queue for it, and then oh hi, how you doing? They write your name, a bit of thing. Yeah, you don't even get a picture. If you want a photo with them as well, that's more money.
Fuck that, mate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I lean over the fucking thing and I take a picture.
Unless it's fucking like someone that's like proper, a serious like Marvel star or something, I ain't paying nothing.
No, because they ain't gonna be there.
That's insane.
You know what I mean? It's only when I went with Toby. It makes you laugh because I don't know how they do it, but like the Green Ranger was there. John David Frank David John. Anyway, in one of those orders, he was there, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was there, and they've got a massive beef between each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Two nobodies having a fight.
Oh mate, the Green Ranger is fucking badass. He's like a UFC fighter.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's fucking quality. Some of his videos on YouTube are fucking wicked. But so when I was there, I was like, mate, I fucking love both of them. The Green Ranger did not sit. I was there for like a good 4 hours with Toby. Didn't come out once. There was queues of people waiting, and I didn't see him. His chair was always empty. And
Probably
then
doing meth in the back or something.
And then no, because he's a proper like Jesus freak. And then Van Damme come out and he had a fucking stage, and he had a walled area that you had to go in and queue behind the tent, like the curtains, so you couldn't see him because he knows I'll just get a fucking photo of him. But then he got up on stage and did his you seen Kickboxer?
I've not seen. I don't think I've seen any of his films.
It's like his really famous one. He does, after he's done his kickboxing, they go to like a shitty pub thing, and he does this dance where he's like pissed. And he got up on stage and did the dance, and I got like a little video of him doing it. But I didn't realise how much of an arrogant prick he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
then
proper
what happened? Then Liam Neeson turned up, and then it's taken, but with Van Damme in it.
fucking mental. But yeah, I mean, that's what people go to these things, and they'll pay that. There's a guy that I work with that I still follow him on. I still have him as a friend on Facebook, and he's still, all his kids go with him, and they stand in queues. He was the one that told me originally actually about the Green Ranger being a fighter and that.
Oh right.
And he comes out, and they're like, "Oh, the Green Ranger," because he's still in them. He was in the new Power Rangers movie, and they're making a White Rangers like adult version movie.
Oh really?
And he's the what? Yeah, he's been in like, all of them. He fucking loves it. To be fair to him, he loves his fans. You know what I mean? He's more than happy to like take photos and stop and.
Which is not really known.
No, so power to him. But yeah, so we had someone else email in. Obviously, we do like a person episode, so the next episode will be this lady's email.
Yeah.
But on the bottom of it, she wrote, "Which came first, the chicken or the egg?" And I feel that's a pretty good question to. I mean, we can do that at least. She can have her main question next week, but I thought we'd just put that in just because she was early enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how do you feel, Jamie? What would you say, and why was your reasoning behind that?
100%. I have no doubt in my mind what will come first, and it's the fucking egg.
Okay, yeah, I say the same thing. Why would you say that though?
Because like some weird like dinosaur-esque fucking pigeon-looking ugly motherfucker, yeah, gave birth to what we now know as the chicken, and he was a deformed child that no one liked, and he was like the one that was kicked over in the playground type situation, and that is the chicken.
fuck's sake, man. This is why we're friends. It annoys the fuck out of me. But that is exactly the same fucking answer that I had.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it's evolution, isn't it? It's not... There's no fucking... If you say it's a chicken, then you're obviously going to be some sort of Bible. There's no evolution. It happens because a chicken is a chicken.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't know anyone's answer to that say chicken. It's just like, what, so it just fucking cropped up? Just turned up? It wasn't born?
That's faith. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's faith. You needed a chicken. Here's a chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus
But no,
Christ just fucking conjured one up on the fucking side of the road.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
It is what it is, and it's evolution. Yeah, like you said, it's a form of a chicken. Had an egg, and that was the next thing. Because chickens are chickens now because we want them to be chickens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we didn't eat their eggs or anything like that, a chicken wouldn't look like a chicken now because it would need to survive.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way evolution works, right? Like, if you need to survive in a certain way, eventually evolution will change you to survive.
Yeah. It's like, look at how many breed of dogs there are.
Yeah, from like crossbreeding, and you get like pure breeds and mutts and...
Yeah. Like, you got a Chihuahua, yeah?
Uh-huh.
That was bred to be totally aesthetic. Like, that dog was bred to be like a little dog that is cute and people love it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got a fucking Rottweiler. Or what are them fucking bear fighting dogs called?
I was going to say, is it St. Bernards that have they were bred to be in like snow?
Yeah,
They carry like,
water.
Yeah, and barrels of like whiskey and to keep you warm and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a dog, it's some kind of mastiff. It's like Siberian mastiff or something, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's about fucking 4 foot tall. And it's like a bush. It's like a walking bush. It's like massive, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And that thing was bred to fight bears.
Mm.
Yeah? So we're breeding animals in certain ways to get certain results.
Yeah.
That's evolution, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what happened with the chicken.
That's
Except for
why...
there was no one about when the chicken happened.
But then once we found it...
We farmed it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So chicken's a chicken now. It's not going to be anything else, is it? You get different coloured chickens, which is the same sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I do wonder what the chicken come from, innit? Probably some prehistoric looking ugly ass bird.
Well, you don't, because I was saying to Hannah, because I was talking to her about it in the car on the way back. Like, I think it's like a lizard that eats like the eggs in like a nest, and then lays its own eggs in the nest, and the bird brings it up.
There's a bird that does that as well.
Or is it a bird then? I know there's some sort. Yeah,
there's both.
I know there's some. Yeah, there's a creature that does that. So who's to say that the version did it? The animal was like, oh, I don't know any fucking difference.
Yeah.
And then that banged that version of whatever that was, and then bam, you got a chicken.
Exactly. Like, there's so many, like, I could go on for fucking hours about evolution and stuff, but there's so many, like, things where it's proven that Homo sapiens crossbred with the Neanderthals, and that is why certain areas and certain districts in the world look a certain way, because like in places like Mongolia they've got 95% Homo sapien background and like 3% fucking Neanderthal and 2% of something they don't know. Where like with the white Europeans we're like 98% Homo sapien and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm totally waffling about the numbers, so if anyone wants to fucking correct me, but...
I don't think it's going to be over that. At the end of the day, it's sex, isn't it? Everything comes back to sex, Jamie.
Yep. If you're compatible, fucking do it. Go to the Travelodge in Dunstable and fucking get on!
And drop the name Jamie, you'll get a discount.
See if Trevor still works there. He was working there around 2006.
Mate, Trevor's the shadiest name, innit? What are you here for? Trevor sent me. Trevor sent me.
Trevor was the dodgy fucker as well because he knew what I was doing.
Trevor, something. Do you remember when there was 2 occasions when we were getting weed? The one time where you and what's his face went down to the core shop and a kid pulled up on a push bike.
Oh mate, that was fucking diabolical. And I'm talking to this kid below 10 years old. And I'm sitting in the car and he was like, "Are you Jamie?" I was like,
No.
"No."
Is there some cameras out here or something to catch a predator?
Oh mate, could you imagine?
Yeah, I know.
Some geezer walks out of a bush with a clipboard.
And then the second time we were coming back, and this guy pulls up in like a proper family car with like kid seats in the back.
Oh, yeah. I remember his name. His name was like Ace or something, which obviously is always going to be a fake name when they call themselves Ace.
Yeah.
But when he walks up in a Safira with 2 kids in the back, I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Right. Anyway, we've been going long enough. Thanks for listening, guys, and of course, like, if you can write into us to give us more content and more I always shut down at this point. More content and more like stories, or even if you just want to ask us silly questions about ourselves, write into 2mennohope@gmail.com. And that's it from me.
And from me. Hopefully we'll hear from you in the comments, the emails, Twitter, Instagram. We have all my links that you can click on that will have everything in together. But until next time.